Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Whole Division podcast. This is episode 5, and we are back again with another special edition, right? So, yes, special edition number 5. We're back. We're doing it again. Whole Division podcast. So, as you can see on my screen, as you see on your screen, rather, there's only 3 of us again this week, just like last week. And do you know why? Because we're doing a part 2 to last week. Hold your juice up. Juices up.
Hold them up.
So, introduce everyone. So, as you know, we got the Whole Division First Lady, Miss Chitty. Miss Chitty, bang, bang.
Hey, guys. Namaste, peace, love, and blood clot, light, and all that.
Wow. How do you take it there? How do you take it there from peace, love, and then to this? I mean, like, how?
How? I know how? Because I'm a Gemini, Sticky.
Oh, yeah. God. There we go.
Two-faced bastards. We're also joined by our special guest this week, Ms. DJ Empress. Hello, Empress.
Greetings, everyone. Evening.
Just so you guys know, if you don't really know, we don't really like Empress very much, all right? And I'm going to say that from my chest. I'll say it with chest. I don't really like her very much, all right?
Picky, hairy chest.
Sticky. It's a disrespect. I will not have you disrespecting our guests. You better apologize.
Definitely not. And also myself, DJ Sticky Fingers.
Not the one and only. You are not the one and only this week.
Always the one and only. So, this week, as I said, we are joined by a special guest again this week, DJ Empress, who's graced us last week and always graced us with her presence. But graced us last week with actually a very serious topic. So if you didn't check last week's show out, make sure you check it on YouTube. But last week, DJ Empress kind of brought us into her life, into her world, and was celebrating 10 years of being alcohol-free. All right? Due to the response that we had last week and the in-depth conversation we had, we felt that we didn't really cover all the things that we could have covered off. So we thought, you know what, let's do a part 2. I must say it's very, can come with a slight trigger warning, but actually it's very informative. So please be aware and please enjoy, like, share, and subscribe as well, of course. And let's take it over. But in fact, before we even get into it, right, I'm going to warn you guys, okay? Although it's a very serious topic, right? There'll be certain points during this hour, I'm going to be taking shots at Empress because I can and I should do because she always insults me, okay? So I'm putting it out there, right? So, Chids, Empress, you ready?
Oh, yes, I am. See you anyway. Yes, I am ready.
Cool.
So sorry. I was looking down at my screen then. It's only because I'm just setting things up over there, trying to focus on, I would say, beautiful faces, not including Sticky. But yes. Thank you so much for last week.
Thank you for having me and back again. Thank you.
Do you know what? I only uploaded the video, the episode, like this morning, and the responses I've had from it already.
Really?
It's just, you know what? It's quite like it's overwhelming. I just think it's just so. It's not only brave and courageous. It's just, I think it's magical when like people come together and have discussions like this because it gives like insight into the different like elements of life. Life is not always rosy. It's not always, magical and whatever. But I just think magical things come from like the healing process. This is the healing process, and what you've done again is phenomenal. And I will say that I said it last week, I'll say it this week, and I'm just so glad that you've come back for a second time to go a little bit deeper. We're gonna go deeper.
Deeper.
Covered so much last week. We covered so much. We talked about like the NHS. We talked about how things affected you mentally. But I think this week, what I would love to talk about, what I'd love to hear from you, is how it affected you, like personally, in your personal life, with your family, your relationships, those kind of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give the floor to you and listen attentively. So yes, over to you.
Okay, I'm going to change it round, the order that you just said. Can I change it round, Chids?
Yeah, man, do what you need to do.
I'm gonna change it round a bit. What I'm going to start with, because Carl did ask me, if he's in here, Carl did ask me something last week in regards to my downfalls and Last week I was really happy. This week I'm gonna actually go into depth in regards to that. When I was 8 years old, I could play the piano with my eyes closed. I played at Royal Albert Hall. I was in a steel band. I played at Notting Hill Carnival. I was a drummer. I was an athlete. I could run 11.3 seconds. I was a footballer. I had auditions for Chelsea. So my downfalls in a way is that I kind of lost a lot because, you know, I had so much things I could have just fell onto, you know, and alcohol was a big part of that. So now to the family, I would say I had one member left in my family, and I come from 17 brothers and sisters. Yeah, 17 brothers and sisters, 26 nieces and nephews, 6 aunties, 6 uncles, and whatever else is hanging on out there. But I lost everyone. I lost everyone. This coming from the older generation, they don't really understand about, they just think you're drinking and turn fool. You understand? But they couldn't trust me because I stole. They just lost all trust. They just didn't believe a word I was saying because I kept going for help and I was coming back with nothing to say that's going to help me. They just fizzled out. You know, they just fizzled out. It's only recently I've started to build bridges with my family because they can see that I've actually stuck to my word. Yeah. You know, but there will always be like people crawling on eggshells because they don't want to push me back to where I was at first. So my family, some of them are still a bit wary. Some of them are like, keep going. My mum is the biggest support for me. She's my best friend. You know, she is my best friend. And without her, I don't know how I would do it. We've become more closer since this whole, you know, so close. Me and my grandma, you know, we got dancing and we do all sorts of stuff. So it's doing stuff that they like. Before it was doing stuff that I like, but now I'm taking part in what, you know, it's nice to get to know, oh, that's their favorite song, or that I didn't show interest before. So family takes time. Yes, Sticks.
Can I ask a question on that, right? You know, you mentioned about your mum and
Yes.
like being close with your mum. I think that's beautiful to hear, actually. I was going to ask, what impact did it have on your mum and like her interaction with your family? So, you know, you said like some family members kind of like fizzled out. Did that impact on your mum's relationship with those said family members? And was it like, you know, because again, it's been 10 years, a long time now in terms of your journey in changing your life around. Has it changed for your mum and those family members as well?
Yeah, of course. That's a good question. The best question you've asked all year. Yes.
I don't know what, right? I tried to be nice here. I tried to be nice. I'm coming for you, right? Don't you worry. I'm coming for you.
You know, I'm ready for you. But yeah, my mum's my best friend, and her way of dealing with it, everyone else could see that it was affecting her because she weren't eating, she weren't sleeping, because she didn't know where I was. She didn't know where I was going to end up. She was just scared for me, but she just couldn't handle me anymore. And because of that, my family started turning against me because they could see that she was really, really stressed out about it. So that's when the door started to close on me. No, we can't help you. You've been disrespectful to blah, blah, blah. Or yeah, they fizzled out as well because of the stress that I gave her, not just for the fact of not wanting to get to know me. It was just, you're hurting your mom. How could you do this? You're hurting your family. How could you do this? How could you steal from them? How can you, you know?
But what I meant was, has it still affected like your mum's, I know it affected your relationship with family members, but did it affect your mum's relationship with those family members? So did your mum like fall out with some of those family members because maybe she was defending you as she would do as your mum? Did that also happen as well, and like conflict between them?
It did. My mum and I'll talk about anything. My mum and my grandma fell out because my grandma's very, very old school, and her way was just bucks it all to her. Anyone that does it, it's like, could you slap the alcohol out of her? So that kind of messed up the relationship between my mum and my grandma, because they had different ways of dealing with it, and they didn't talk for 2 years. They didn't talk for 2 years because they both had their own way, and it just, well, you deal with her, you deal with her, like, you deal with her. My mum and my auntie don't speak to this day because of my, and that's 10 years, because she said something very, very rude to my mum in regards to me being a drunk and nasty and this and that. Until this day, my mum won't speak to her. So it has affected some, it has affected some relationships with my mum, yes. And it still affects her today. She's still scared until today that something could go wrong, you know. So don't know if I answered your question, but yes, it has affected her with family and friends, and it's still going today.
It must be hard for your mum. In that sense, because you know you're her child, in effect, and it's just like, I know as a mother, I would do anything to support my child and to be there for them, and if that means I will go against the world to support my child. And I also think there was something that you said as well. Do you think that, you know, you said about your mum and your grandmother having, you know, there was silence between them. Sometimes, do you think, especially coming from the backgrounds that we come from, like a Caribbean background, do you think it's just ignorance with the older generation and they don't want to acknowledge certain things?
Yeah, that is ignorance. It's like they don't want to admit, they could see there's a problem, but it's just the ignorance of it. And it is our generation, well, the Windrush generation, but it is our, you know, very old school. They don't see it as a problem. They just see it as that you're deliberately doing it, or, you know, in a sense. So yes, definitely our background, definitely older generation, definitely, without a doubt. You know, so.
All right, let me quickly read some of the messages out before you guys continue. Carl Ball, who's all the way in sunny Australia, he's also one of the founders of the Whole Division podcast, says, "You're late, Sticky." Although I wasn't late, actually. Thank you very much. Just want to put it out of them. Isan and Kim says, "Hey, hey, hey," and then she also says, "He's always late, Carl." I don't agree with that. No, thank you. Peely says, "How are you, Han?" Talking to, I don't know who you're talking to. You know, again, if you guys don't know, if it's the first time listening, Peely, Empress, and another young lady called Brina, they are like the Three Stooges, and they're all flipping, just, I don't know what we used to, you know, just, I don't know. I don't know what to say about them.
Because his belly's full. His belly's full, that's why.
His belly's full. He's getting bright. Yeah,
he's getting bright.
Peely says, "Hey, everyone." And it was the, I can't even say it yet. And Zaza's back in the building. I think it's the right Zaza this time. Again, I keep telling you guys, for the fourth week running now, Zaza always comes up in the text, coming in the messages, but I'm still waiting for Zaza to hit me up in my DM. But anyway.
For that, man. Why she got time into that?
Can I ask another question, actually? I thought of this during the week, right?
Yeah,
a random question. You know, we obviously talking about not having any alcohol for 10 years, right? What about things that contain alcohol? So, for example, like rum cake, for example, or rum and raisin ice cream, or, you know, you might have like the little chocolates with like the liqueur thing and stuff in them. Things like that.
You would. Only you could come with questions like that.
But rum cake, something you meant to think about sometimes to contain alcohol, isn't it? You know, you eat it without thinking that it's alcohol contained in there.
When my mum makes cake, it's rum, sherry, red label wine, all sorts of stuff. Like, I kind of clear that. You smell it, you're like. So yeah, I understand what you mean. Like, yeah, I won't eat chocolates. I won't eat the things with the alcohol in it. Even like, you know, you go out and you've got these dishes in like red wine sauce or white wine sauce, or, well, yeah, I wouldn't touch it, because it's just something in my head that, from once it's related to alcohol, no, I just don't want it, Sticks.
That's, you know, stress, man.
Like, why should alcohol even be in chocolate?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mad thing.
Cake is fine, but come better, Sticks, man. Chocolate.
Yeah, I don't eat those ones, to be fair. I don't like them. But I'll eat rum cake, though. I'll box rum cake down. You know, every Christmas, I go and buy the big rum cake. Every Christmas, every year. The big one as well. £100 cake, right? Every single year, every Christmas. Yeah, but again, it lasts quite long. And obviously, I cut it up and I give it away. But every year, I get the rum cake. And the thing is, I would give it to you without even thinking alcohol, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's almost ignorance as well, I suppose. But I wouldn't do it purposefully, but I wouldn't even think, oh, it's got alcohol. Not to offer it, I'd be like, oh, have some cake. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And if someone gave me cake, like if I go to a wedding or something, the first thing I would say is, has it got alcohol in it? You know, and they look at me like, and I'm just like, oh, I've taken tablets, you know, I've got antibiotics, or it's just something along.
Yeah, that's clever.
Like, yeah, so it's like, instead of, so I was like, has it got alcohol?
That was something else I was going to ask you as well.
Yeah.
So like, we were discussing it earlier on as well, just saying, so conversations, like if it comes up in conversation, if you're saying you met a bunch of people and you were just all talking or whatever, and then alcohol came up as a topic, is it something that you would just like openly disclose, or like how do you deal with that?
It's not something I just walk around if I meet people, hey, by the way, I'm an alcoholic. But, you know, in employment, I don't know, like if the conversation came up and Bob said, oh, do you want to go for a drink? And yeah, okay, I'll go for a drink, but I don't drink alcohol. Do you understand? Or that's it, simple. Like, yeah, all right, I'll come for a soft drink, but just know that I don't drink alcohol. But as a conversation, unless like we're out or doesn't really come up, but I wouldn't feel no way. The only way I will say anything is if someone asks me out on a date, which never happens anyway. So,
I don't think it happens for anyone these days. You know, COVID.
But yeah, I can talk about it. I feel no way. And sorry, that's one thing that Sticky was saying the other day, and I didn't actually answer that properly. Anybody can invite me to a drink. Anybody, I will go happily, but just don't keep trying to offer me drink. Or someone tried to pour something in my cup one time without me looking. So yeah, so that's, you know, I have to make sure the people that I do go with, I trust.
Yeah, no, of course it is about trust, because do you know what, you saying that it's kind of fuckery what people do, you know, because I'm not a drinker, and I'll say to people like, I don't drink. No, I don't need to drink. And they're like, oh, go on. And I've seen people try dash things in my drink. Do you get me?
Yes.
People do force alcohol on you. Like, I can go out and have a good time without alcohol. It's not needed. But there are a lot of people who need to do that. I don't know whether it boosts their confidence or it just gives them whatever new lease of life, but they need to do it. And they actually don't understand that not everybody has to drink to have a good time.
Exactly. And yes, exactly. And that's the thing, where I go out with people that I trust and knows my situation, as where, as if I say sometimes, which, oh, I don't drink, I'll just have one. Oh, it's not gonna, do you understand? And I will tell them straight, I am an alcoholic, but then they don't understand it because they're drinking themselves and they're not, it's not registering, okay, she's an alcoholic. They're looking at it as, oh, she doesn't want to drink today. So yeah. But we can go out sticks. I'll watch you in your pot belly having your Guinness punch.
And your forehead.
That's the next thing as well. You see, like you said, Guinness, but like also about rum cake. Like I would offer you rum cake without even a second thought. I would offer you Guinness punch without a second thought. Someone says to me, does it contain alcohol? I said, well, technically it does, but it ain't really alcohol. You got more chance of your teeth rotting out more than anything else because of the amount of sugar that's in there. But I would do it without even thinking. I wouldn't even think alcohol. It's crazy, isn't it?
Me, because at least you're thinking about me. If
you just, there you go.
You know, and if you just sat them like knowing that and sit there with my lips dry all day, then our friendship.
The reason I'm messages quickly, right? Peely says, "Hush your mouth, Sticky." She didn't even say "hush your mouth." She said, "Hush your mouth." It's an M-O-U-T. So I don't know if she can't spell or if she's Jamaican, one or the other, right? Brina says, "Oh, he's Sticky." Peely says his belly is full and his chest is too high. Shake my head. Oh wow. NG Banks in the building says, cause it tastes good. Vic talking about the rum cake there. Brina's A's baby says, full respect to DJ Empress. Izan and Kim says, that DJ Empress, good on you for giving up alcohol. You got this. Love that. Brina says, it's DMs now, not face-to-face invites. talking about, I think when Empress said no one invites her out or no dates. PD says some people are just mad. How dare they? Talk about when someone spikes your drinks. Brina also says it wasn't until I was Muslim for 10 years that I realized people think you're from space if you don't drink alcohol. And NG Bants says good on you for real. If you haven't checked out NG Bants, make sure NG Bants on IG because nothing but jokes. Same with Brina. Brina's Addictive Cakes. Make sure you check them out on IG. And if Brina makes Empress a cake, remember it has to have no alcohol in it, okay? Because Empress doesn't do the alcohol. She does rum. You know that song Rum and Red Bull? Yeah. It's just the Red Bull, not the rum, okay?
Not the rum.
So when the song's playing, she's like, I'm drinking Red Bull and Red Bull. That's what she's drinking. That's what, I'm saying.
He's on one today.
I was so dead sick.
He's on one today.
I can't back it. It's because it's
belly just silent. What happened to the girls' power, man?
But I told you I'm coming for Empress. I'm coming for Empress today because Empress, if you guys don't know, Empress would always insult me. He talks my belly, my forehead, my locks, everything. You know what I mean? So I got to just, put her in her place. You know what I'm saying?
All right, be quiet now. Shoots.
Cool.
Yes, I know. Sticky, stop now. Stop. Yeah. I invited you on. I asked you to host. Just do your job, innit? But yeah. So I lost my train of thought now, Stick. No, but yeah. So I want to move on to in regards to relationships and friendships. How did or has alcohol affected your friendships and relationships with other people?
At the beginning, I was saying 1 year before I went into detox, the emergency detox, 1 year prior to that, I had no friends. I had lost all my friends. I didn't have any. I either, from what I can remember, either turned up at their house in the middle of the night for somewhere to stay, or just bully them out of money so I can go and buy something else. So I lost a lot of friends. Relationships, I call it the clingy relationships because that's what it was. It was very, very clingy. Because I was homeless and because I wanted to be loved, it was just like, you can't leave me on my own. I would go to their house and it would be like, I want to stay with you. Don't leave me. If you go to work, I don't know what I'm going to do. And it was like still drinking at their house. And it got to a point where they decided that, I'm going to have a drink with you because you seem happy, you seem comfortable. And they kind of got dependent on alcohol every day. Not that it was just like, oh, I'll have a drink with you this evening kind of thing. And it wasn't, my relationships were more friendships. I was more looking for friendships. At first it was a relationship, but my brain couldn't commit. There was no commitment in that. There was more commitment to my addiction to my alcohol than there was to anybody else. So I didn't really have relationships while I was drinking. I just couldn't commit. And I was just drowning them in, clinginess and just didn't want to do anything, and them telling me to stop, that wasn't what I wanted. Do you understand? I need you. Yeah. Obviously that's something I will do in my own time, but you telling me to stop and relationships just didn't work out, and it's not working out now because I just don't have the time for it. It's something that I've not really had in my life. So it's very difficult to have a relationship now because one of the questions where you said about, is it something that comes up in a discussion? Mm-hmm. If I was to turn around now and say, oh, I'm an alcoholic, I'd have to explain it. And then by then they've run off. They're not interested. Yeah, a young girl, I don't want to be seen with no alcoholic. You get a lot of that.
But you know what? I think that's the thing where those people are just not for you, because anybody that's for you will have empathy and understanding, and they will not judge you for your past or judge you for anything that you're going through. If anything, they will support you. Some people are meant to stay in your life, some people are not. And I think that's what that is. I think the right person, you connect with them when it's time and when you're supposed to.
Sneaky, I'm ignoring your hands at the moment. So yeah, anyway,
No, I got a question about what you're saying there. No, so on that, right? I know you said that if you meet someone, you start a conversation, what have you, and you tell them you're alcoholic. I got a question / statement, right? So, question / statement is: don't you think you're doing yourself disjustice by doing so? Not disclosing the information, but the way in which it's said. Because if I haven't heard what you said to me so far, you say to me I'm an alcoholic, my mind automatically thinks that you are currently you're an alcoholic actively right now. If you tell me that I'm a recovering alcoholic and I've not touched alcohol for 10 years, then my perception automatically changes because I'm not thinking alcoholism in its current form. I'm thinking, okay, that was your past, and you've now been 10 years, which is that's a life-changing amount of time. So could it be this how it's perceived? Because again, if you say it to me as I'm an alcoholic, I'm ultimately think you're doing so right now, not that you were doing so 10 years ago. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I understand, but it depends on the person as well. Like, if I feel that you're not going to understand anything in regards to that, I'm not going to sit down and explain my life story. Recovering alcoholic, do you know what? I don't know. I wouldn't use recovering. I know they use a lot of like recovery, but I wouldn't use recovering because it's something that I'm not going to recover from. I'm an alcoholic. It's a disease. So is that recovering? I don't know.
I agree with you there. I think it's something that it's something that you've overcome and you've learned to accept. You've accepted that that's what you are, and you've got a problem. You've got a bad relationship with alcohol, and you've chosen to stay away from it. But it's like, I don't like it when they say recovering alcoholic, because it's not a thing where you could go back to alcohol and everything's going to be fine and your life's going to be all nice and dandy. It's not going to be that way. So I don't like the term recovering alcoholic. I just think that you've just accepted that you've got a bad relationship with alcohol and you've chosen to stay away from it. That's what I would say.
But saying that though, right? So, but again, the reason why I say that is because you're not who you are 10 years ago.
That's correct.
So for you to say I am such and such is, I think, is a misrepresentation of yourself, because you're saying I was such and such. That's who you were, but who I am is different. So, as I said, it's all about perception. So if you say to someone, I am an alcoholic, well, you're not. You were an alcoholic. You are maybe recovering, or you've changed the way you deal with alcohol, but doesn't mean that's who you are. So I think it's a bad representation. I think I can understand why, if you tell someone in that way, why they may not warm to it as such, and you feel you have to explain yourself, but maybe just in the wording, I was like rappers talk about all the time. I was a drug dealer. I used to gangbang or whatever, but I'm not that anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's not,
you know what? Saying was, it's not was, because I am. I could not take one drink now and say that's enough, and just say, I am. It's not was or were. I am. And recovering, I just see I'm taking each step at a time. I wouldn't call that recovering. I'm just doing each step at a time.
I understand. I understand from both perceptions.
I understand what sticky means as well.
Yeah, I understand where Sticky's coming from, in the sense of you are not who you were 10 years ago. From what you explained and what you told us last week, that's powerful. You went to the lowest point and look how you've elevated, look how you've grown. Do you get me? That's a lot of work. So you're definitely not that same person. But I do commend you in the fact that you can acknowledge that you don't have a good relationship with alcohol. It's not something that you want to go back to. So I can see it from both kind of points. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me quickly read some of his messages before you guys continue. Brina's at his baby says, imagine rum cake is my nemesis. I haven't mastered it yet. Brina, don't let me down. Don't let me down. I've tried Brina's cake. She gave me, we've had a conversation about this already. I've tried an actual cake. but she wanted to give me the other cake, you know what I mean, the kitty cake. But anyway, Isabel and Kim says, Water and Lemon is the new Rum and Red Bull song. Okay, fair enough. You hear that, Empress?
What's that?
Water and Lemon is the new Rum and Red Bull song.
Oh,
so we're not
yeah.
singing Rum and Red Bull anymore, we're singing Water and Lemon. That's from Isabel and Kim. PD says, agreed, Chids. Brina says, I hear you on that, Sticky. See, I told you.
Yeah.
And then Brina also says, okay, I hear you, Empress. Brina then says, I'm stuck on this one. She says, yes, Sticky. You see that? Yes, Sticky. Offer you the cake, the real thing. Zaza says...
You don't wear Zaza for cake.
No, Zaza didn't be other stuff. Zaza says, in relation to relationships, when you say you couldn't commit, was it a case of pushing people away because if all that she was going through? I know you said clingy, but would you allow others in? Okay, let me read that again. In relation to relationships, when you say you couldn't commit, was it a case of pushing people away because if all that you was going through? I know you said clingy, but would you allow others in? We'll come back to that one in a second. Brina says perception depends on the delivery of information. Hashtag perspective. Okay, but if you're continuing to say no, so you're fighting and winning. Okay, I get what you're trying to say. Also says yes, the growth. Peely says someone who is opening. Someone who's open to hearing and know who you are isn't going to be put off by you saying you're an alcoholic. They will be open to hearing your story eventually when you are ready. And Brina says, whatever, Sticky, I've wished you cake many, many times. So do you want to go back to Zaza's question by any chance?
Could you remind me of it, please?
Yeah, so it says, in relation to the relationships, when you say you couldn't commit, was it a case of pushing people away because if all that you was going through, I know you said clingy, but would you allow others in?
I used to push them away because I couldn't commit to the fact of, you want love, I love my alcohol. You want this, I love my alcohol. Do you understand? I could never have put you first. You know, I couldn't put you first. So there was no commitment. I had my commitment and nobody was going to break that. So in a way, it sounds bad, but it's kind of like I used them. I used them to just be at home, be in warmth, somewhere for me to drink. But I couldn't commit to you. Would I let someone in? Depends on them. If I can see that they are willing to listen, then I would feel them in. I would feel my partner in. I would say, you know, this is the situation. But as I said before, a lot of people don't understand it. You know, they don't understand it. And that's why they became dependent on it, because they're thinking, well, she's happy, like, let's keep her happy kind of thing. You know, and
they were just giving you what they thought you needed in order to keep going. Instead of, you know, some people, I think there are going to be people out there who want to help, and they can see that they could see it's a problem and say, do you know, hang on a minute, something's wrong here. Let's try and sort this out. But it takes a special type of person to be able to sort of deal with somebody who has an addiction. I've got a close friend who's dealt with somebody, and she's still with them. Jeremy, after 24 years, they're still together, and they battled through. But it takes a special type of person.
It does. And the thing is, if I let you in, I'm going to cling to you more, because that's something that's my personal life. And if I feel that trust with you and I open up to you, you ain't going nowhere. Where are you going? I've hidden my partner's keys before. Like, where are you going? Yeah, I've done those kind of things. Like, you can't leave me, and I don't want to be alone. I've hidden their keys before. Where are you going? Yeah,
You're not going nowhere.
You're not going nowhere. Money for work, I'll pay your bills. Where you going? That's how bad it was. I was so clingy. So clinging. That's what it was about, you know. So I don't know if that answers.
It's like, it's not, I think at that point as well, it's not so much a relationship, it's more of a, you know, a dependency. You're just depending on them for, if they become your safety net, your anchor kind of thing. And then I think that obviously affects the other person, because mentally that must be draining for
It's
somebody else.
draining.
But
It's
then
draining.
it's probably mentally draining and exhausting for you, because you know you have to keep doing that in order to keep yourself grounded. But then
Yeah.
you can see that it's affecting the other person.
Yes.
So it's like a continuous battle. So
Yeah.
then how are you actually supposed to get close to someone then? You know what I mean?
Exactly. You can't. You can't. And then when you're like falling over or you just stink or whatever, who really wants to be, you know, and that was one of the things that yes, tink man, we used to tink, you know, and
My God. But I'm supposed to, this is meant to be a serious discussion, you know.
I know this week was supposed to be serious. Okay. So yeah, it was bad. It was really, really bad. I can't, do you know, the thing is, I couldn't see myself in the relationship now because I don't know what a relationship was. You know, I know I'm not a clingy person now. I'm a very committed person, but I've not done that with someone, you know, I haven't had a serious relationship since I've been sober. I haven't actually had I haven't actually been in a relationship because I don't know what it's like. I don't know what to do. I'm sober now. I don't know how to think. I don't know what they need. I don't know what I want. So what's the point of getting into something if I don't know what I want myself?
So it's almost, but it's part of your, and I think this is what we were talking about this before, but then it's part of your growth.
Yes.
It's like learning again. You've unlearned to relearn again, and you've become this new person. Yes, elements of you are still there because you will always be you, but now this is a new version of you. And I think when we become a different version of ourselves, it sometimes it takes time. Do you know when you're elevating, yeah, and you're on the road to recovery, whether you're recovering from an addiction, whether you're recovering from a toxic relationship, whatever, past trauma, whatever, yeah, I think that the path is lonely. It's not lonely, but you're alone, and it's not. Not in the sense that you're actually lonely. It's because you're elevating, and this is your path, this is your story, and it's about you right now. When you're ready to be in, you know, in alignment with the person that you're supposed to be in alignment with, you will know, because it will happen. It's exactly the right time, in exactly the right way that it's supposed to happen. And then in order for you to, like, it's the art of happiness, isn't it, really? And I think you're just getting to know yourself. 10 years is a long time. But then at the same time is everything and nothing. You've done 10 years, you're going to do another 10 years, then you're going to do another 10 years. Who knows what you're going to do in that time? And the great things, it's not just always about, you know, relationships. It's about other things. I bet you, that there's things that you've done now in your 10 years of being sober that you never thought you would do.
Oh, yes. Yes. Lots of stuff. Yeah, lots. Like, just even things around the house, like painting. Who does that as a female? But I've been doing, you know, little bits. And the other day, I can't sew for my life. My gran, everything I bring to my gran is on the sewing machine. So I bought a jacket to her the other day, and she gave me the needle. She's like, "Here, it's about time you learn for yourself." And I'm sitting there with my jacket, and I'm turning around, and I'm doing all sorts of things. And it's like, she taught me how to sew. Like,
yes.
You know, those little things like that. I'm learning now. I'm still learning.
Look at that.
That's a question.
Oh, do you have to?
Yeah,
well, I've got a couple of questions actually. One is about the needle and thread, with you trying to needle the thread and all that. Before I do, let me read some of these messages quickly before I get into any trouble. Izan and Kim said, said Sticks wants the extra cake, just turn it on to you. Want to give it to him? Brina says, but protecting my energy. Sorry, but protecting my energy. I hear alcoholic versus 10 years sober very differently. So I could miss connecting with a beautiful soul because of how they told me, not what they told me. I like it. I'm going to read it again, right?
Yeah, read it again, yeah.
So, but protecting my energy. I hear alcoholic versus 10 years sober very differently. So I could miss connecting with a beautiful soul because of how they told me, not what they told me.
Okay.
So you get what I'm saying? So kind of what I was saying earlier. So if you tell someone I'm an alcoholic, so what they're saying is if you tell them you're an alcoholic, or you say to them you're 10 years sober, their perception is completely different.
Yeah.
And what she's saying is it's because of how you told them, not what you told them.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yes, I understand.
Reno says this is hitting home from being in a relationship with a partner that had addictions. He did that. Say that again. Put my teeth back in. This is hitting home. I know. I really can't. This is hitting home from being in a relationship with a partner that had addictions he hid from me until I got pregnant. Ooh.
Wow.
Reno says yes, Chids. Zaza said, it's not bad. It's really insightful, and you have no idea how much you're helping people. You will definitely find someone when you're ready. You have done nothing but grow, and you will meet someone when you are.
I'm ready. Take me.
So I've got a serious question actually, but I really do think about Brina's point in there. Just as she said, she hears the word alcoholic versus 10 years sober very, very differently. And I'm exactly the same. I said to you, you tell me alcoholic, I'm thinking present. You tell me I was an alcoholic, I've been sober for 10 years, I think past 10, and I think that's a different view. But my question I got though, I know you mentioned earlier about friendships. You said that at one point you lost all your friends, right?
Yes.
Because of what was happening. Since being sober for as long as you have been, because again, 10 years is a long bloody time, right? Yeah. Have you been able to make amends with any of those people, or have they, have any of those people reached out to you to that, even congratulate you for taking this journey as far as you've taken it so far?
I just gave everyone a tenner and that was it. We'll call it quits and then friends again. I've lost my old school friends, like friends that I went to primary school with, or, I've lost all my old school friends. My phone book is quite empty. I'm not gonna lie. I buy my friends like sticky. No, my phone book is very
done.
I don't have much friends, but I do have a couple of close friends that will always stand by me no matter what. But I've lost trust.
What though? See, in 2021, that is not a bad thing. Listen, the other day I said to myself, I can count my friends, my close, real ones, on my one hand using 4 fingers. And do you know what? That's a blessing in 2021. Because society is crazy. People are crazy. People are not who... I don't think that humanity is not what it was. Do you know what I mean? So people are different now. And I think, as I said, I will go back to saying, when you're elevating, and when you're connecting with your highest self, people will fall off. They will be gone. Sometimes it's not the quantity, it's the quality. You said you've got good, close friends. That's all you need. And sometimes it takes a struggle, or it takes something like this for you to realize who is supposed to be present in your life and who is not. Because sometimes when you've got people who are not meant to be present in your life when you're going through bad things, they can actually make it worse. Because everything is energy, because you might have them fuckers around you who see that you're going through something and say, do you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to give her a drink,
Yeah.
They might do that.
Yeah, basically. No, my 2 friends I have is very, very supportive. In the pandemic, as I said, I did struggle in the pandemic. It was just like, it was more boredom. And then that's when because I'm at home and normally in the daytime, I'll find things to do, and then evening time myself out and then go to bed. In the pandemic, it was just like the same thing every day. And a couple of times I did phone my friend and says, I'm struggling. I feel like I need to have a drink. And that's when she was like, look, you've done it so far, do this, pick up your music, put your headphones on, think of different things that you can do. And then she turned around and said, you know what? Do a dancehall mix for me. And I just did a dancehall, because my friends know music is my focus now. So it's just like, go and, do this, do that. If I phoned one of my friends in the past that locked me off, I'll say, oh, I feel like a drink. Go on then, go on, drink, go on, get a drink, or I'll buy it for you. Yeah. So, do you understand? Let's go for a drink. What kind of friend are you then? you know, so minimal. Sticky's about to fall onto my phone book, but I could count on one hand how many friends is in my phone book. Yeah, you're nearly there, son. You're nearly there.
I got Sticky's number. He's in that other list. He's in the other.
Okay. Music says, Kay says, not the kind of friends you'd want anyway if they walked away when you were struggling. Peely agrees. Peely says, same chids, talking about having 4 friends. Well, I think Peely's got about 2.
No, she hasn't. She's got 3. I'm her friend, yeah?
And she's got 4. I'm her friend.
No, you were the 2 that I was talking about. You were the ones I was talking about anyway. Kay says, I better be on that hand, Chids. Talking to you, Chids. So Kay, she says that. Peely says, I can count my friends on one finger. I told you, I wasn't lying. KME21 says, same for the Buttes, 4 reels that I keep close, others just acquaintances. Okay, yep. Brina says again, yes, Chids. And also Sticky Fingers, you are the greatest. Okay, cool.
Lie.
It's going to cut out soon. Can I just talk about the after effect that it's had on me as well?
Please.
Is that all right, Sticks?
Oh, burn him, man. Carry on. Go, girl.
The after effect as well it's affected my nerves. I have nerve damage. So I have the shakes because alcohol has damaged my nerves. It's damaged my speech. It's damaged my memory. It's, taken toll on my body. My body is not, well, I'm getting old anyway, but it's done a lot of psychological and emotional damage and physical as well. After a while, you don't realize how much this thing is actually damaging you. You just think it's just liquid going down your throat, but it's not, and it's something I'm always going to suffer with, traumas, so speech, sometimes I just, I can't help it. My mum like, talk slowly, talk with your mouth open. And I'm like, what am I doing? So it's affected a few bits and pieces. It has. My eating is never will be back to normal. My fitness is really bad. So it's still things that I'm working on till this day, and that was where the mental health came in. I was diagnosed in 2013 with EUPD, which, if anyone don't know, it's emotional unstable personality disorder. And that was because I did come off drinking and I had so much different emotions. I was unstable. I did have a different personality because I didn't know who I was, and at first it was like, why are you giving me this title? I'm an alcoholic. But then when I think about everything that just goes with it, it's affected me in a big way. It has.
You've been through a lot. But you know what? I'll say it again. You're still here.
I'm still here.
You wasn't meant to. So you were meant to be here, and you were meant to share your story. You were meant to, do you know what? We've all got a place and a purpose and stuff, and I just think some people just really, really, really belong. And for you to even be sat here today, 10 years not having a drink when you drank for so long, then that's just proof that, do you get me, that you can overcome so many different things. There are a lot of people out there fighting with so many silent battles right now. And I think when somebody like you talks about your struggle and what it's done to you, and you speak it with so much, there's I don't know how to put it into words, but you speak it with so much truth, and you're so raw with it that you can't, even though I don't drink, I've never had a problem with drink, but it still resonates with me because I'm still taking that story and I'm like, that will sit with me. Do you get me? It's something that I won't ever forget this. It's something that will always sit with me. So man, I just want to say thank you again.
No problem, that's fine. Stick, can I ask you a question, or Chids can answer it actually? Tell me this.
Well, am I not good enough? Am I not good enough?
Nah, you're not good enough.
Okay, cool.
You know what? I would like to ask, when you have a drink, if you go out to a bar, like a work colleague, or when you're drinking, what is it you're looking for? Are you looking for the feeling? Are you doing it for the taste? What, you know, when you say, oh, let's have a quick drink, what is it that you're doing?
To forget, or it's either to forget, yeah, or just an excuse to go on bad, like to just do that. Usually that's my, because I don't drink, yeah. When I do drink, I will take the piss and I'll drink strong shit, yeah, that I know that I got no business drinking, and my mouth goes like, one time I think I got pissed on alive. One time I had a little drink and I was saying way too much. My mouth was running. It got me into trouble, but I did it on purpose, or I did it with a purpose, knowing that I'm gonna run my mouth. I'm gonna tell you exactly, because I don't go out of my way to hurt people or anything. Do you get me? But when I've had a little drink, yeah, if you've upset me or you've pissed me off in some kind of way, I have a little drink and I will curse you. Do you get me? And won't give a shit about it. So it's Dutch courage, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's the feeling. I was looking more for the feeling. Do you understand? I needed that kind of feeling where I just don't want to think about things. And as you said, when you've had a drink, you start getting mouthy. And that's why a few times I was chucked out of the hospital, because I was mouthy, but I was being mouthy because I needed something. I wasn't being mouthy for being a bitch. Do you understand? But I just wanted to know what the feel, like, what did you do? Because mine was just to get that feeling to just block out. From once my head was blocked out, you could say anything. You could slap me in my face and I'd be like, thanks. Do you understand? So, you know, Sticky wants to say something.
I didn't. I was listening, but to answer the question though, that was a good question. I'm a bit similar to Chids in the sense that I don't really drink much. I'm not much of a drinker. So if we go out, more time I'll have a soft drink. If someone says they want brandy and Coke or something like that, or JD and Coke, all those sort of things are just not for me. I just don't like the taste of them. Not that I have anything against it. I just don't like the taste of it. Give me a porn star martini, I might have that because I like it. Give me some cider, I like that. Give me some Guinness punch, I'll drink that. I'm trying to think what else I might have. That's about it, really. Make some pink Moscato, I drink that as well because it's just sweet, sugary stuff. But other proper drinks, I don't really drink it. I'm just not really for me. So yeah, but so I say all of that, right? But if I tell you now, if me and my friends went to Ibiza tomorrow or this weekend, I'll be having some shots and, you know, I'll be looking.
Serious? Don't dancing with your string vest.
Right? I'll get twisted. I got a few string vests actually. Don't get twisted.
Yeah, it's, you know what? Thanks, guys. You lot are so amazing. You know, I had a lady message me after watching the YouTube video that was put out today. And she said, you know what? You've made me realize that I am not the only one out here with this problem. And I gave her my number. That's why I was busy today, because we spoke for 2 to 3 hours. And she lives in Leeds. And I'm going up there on Monday.
See, look at that.
I'm going up there Monday.
Oh,
and we're
my
we're not going to a meeting or anything. I'm going to a park and to a cathedral. Do you understand? You know, so I'm going Leeds. So I did help someone, and I'm so happy that this actually, just one person, and it helps. So I'm really, really happy.
You're winning. That. If you can help just at least one person, then you're winning.
Yeah, and I'll go anywhere.
Yeah, with that being said, actually, if you haven't, I know we normally say to when you're watching stuff like lives, and we'll say, "Oh, check out the previous shows," right? But actually, the previous show, the part 1 to this, I think is actually a really good thing to watch if you haven't watched it. And again, that's where Empress tells us about. Because obviously we're talking about alcoholism and being alcohol-free for 10 years, for DJ Empress, but she talks about it and again gives up a lot of insight about her life and the journey, things about NHS. So if you haven't watched it, please do watch it. It really is very insightful. We said so during the show, we said so after the show, and you see some actually contacted DJ Empress since the show. And it's really nice to hear. So please, if you haven't watched it, please do watch it. It's very, very insightful, all right? So yeah, as much as DJ Empress is an absolute pain in the arse, right?
Yeah, and I can see the screen.
yeah, pain in the arse. We're talking about jerk chicken and fried dumpling, or she can't cook neither. Yeah, Chili's also talking about. I'm going to start Chili as well. Chili's petition. So she's not even in the conversation.
Yeah,
she's about doubles and all this stuff.
My grandmother is from St. Kitts, yeah? My grandmother is from St. Kitts. Sticky, I will not allow you to do this to me. Not again. Sticky, I'm coming for you. Watch next week
You
anyway.
need to,
Watch.
you know what? I'm coming for him, but I'm trying to be good because my friend could be on there. Happy birthday to my best friend, by the way. So I'm trying to be good, but
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. It's
I'll
not,
go away, don't
it's apparently Virgo season, but we already know it's always Taurus season, all right? So
No,
if you don't know,
Virgo
get to know.
season. My daughter's a Virgo. Empress is a Virgo. It's Virgo season, Sticky. Don't beg it.
Season, man, Virgo season. But thanks for the support, you know. And yeah, 10 years. Yes, I did do the NHS system. Didn't work out for me. It might work out for some people, but I'm here. I'm here.
Because of you, not because of the NHS. No disrespect to the NHS, but disrespect to the NHS at the same time.
Yeah, but that was 10 years ago. That was 10 years ago. So
yeah, 10 years ago, it was not working. Yeah, it was not about
10
that.
years ago. Now there's more options, more things.
Yeah.
You know, people like me that's willing to be people's one-to-one support group.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Some love heart emojis there. Peely, again, we don't really trust Peely anyway, but Peely says, you are helping people and not even realizing it, DJ Empress. So love that as well. Brina says, I'm going to watch it. I was sad I missed the live. See, I'm saying these useless people, honestly. Peely says, I'm coming for him too, but she's got like the emoji that's like that smiley face. That's like, oh yeah, I'm coming for him. Carl Bull.
I told Peely to poison your ass cake. Yeah. What? No, not Peely, Brina. Sorry, I told Brina. Arsenic or rat poison or something, make your shit out forever.
Oh, she's giving me the other as well, though. Remember the other cake. Carl says, I've not been commenting because I was ready to take it. Sorry, I was ready to take it all in. Okay. Thank you for learning your purpose from your experience and leading others to better. Okay. Keishi says, Taurus season. Oh, Kabul meant listening.
Oh,
okay, fair enough. Too. See, she knows Taurus season. That's what I'm talking about.
My wild bull. Like,
Well, guys, I'm going to say, look, first of all, thank you. I know, I was constantly insulting DJ Empress, but actually, thank you for joining us again 2 weeks running and sharing such a personal story. As I said last week, again, it was nice. I say it was nice to hear. It was really refreshing to hear as well. And again, he was very open about your personal life, which not everyone wants to do, but I know it's going to help others. And I said again, thank you again for continuing this week, going into a little bit deeper about relationships and impact on family and things like that. So to thank you, as I always say, if you haven't, if you didn't watch last week's show, please go and watch it.
Yeah, you need to watch last week's show to understand a bit more.
So good.
Yeah, watch it.
So good.
If you haven't already, make sure you like, share, and subscribe as well, by the way, while you're at it. And if you don't already know, right, I am always going to be insulting DJ Empress, regardless if she's talking about open personal things or not. I'm going to be doing so. I'm going to be insulting Chiz because Chiz petition that to really told us. And again,
listen, this
doubles and all the other crap. I don't know what it's called. Listen,
do you know what Bammy is? Do you know what
Bammy is? Yeah, of course I know what Bammy is.
That's your forehead.
Yeah. Bammy is right. That's what that is. Yeah.
That's your forehead.
I don't like you no more, Six.
You know what? It's getting a bit too bright. It's getting too comfortable. That string vest is too tight for you.
Mm-hmm. It's his lock. Because he got the locks now. He's like, watch where my shit lock up. Remember that, Stick?
That's not locks. That's not locks. That's called clinging on for dear life. That is not locks.
Oh, wow.
And this is why you guys can see why I'm always constantly insulting these young ladies, because they deserve it. They deserve it.
Help.
And as I said, there's others who are included as well. I keep telling you guys, Peely's included in that as well. So is Brina. So is Ethan and Kim. Carl gets it sometimes, but to be honest, Carl, right, the thing with Carl ensures that we're on time, and Carl's like, I'm tired of you black people timing. Look, the girl's like, I'm white, I need to be on time, I need to be early. So Carl kind of gets to fly on that one.
Carl's Pan-African.
Pan-African, but when it comes to timing, he's not Pan-African. I'm white, okay? He's like, I'm on time. It's Caucasian. There we go. Guys, look, it's almost a time. It's almost an hour. So before the live cuts off, I'm going to again say thank you. There you go. Empress said thank you for joining and listening. Again, Empress, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining, Chids. Chids, thank you. I'm saying thank you to
you're welcome anytime. Let me just hide him on the screen. Yeah, you're welcome anytime.
You've got big hands. You've got to use 2 hands for that forehead, you know.
Hang on. Wait there. Let me just use the...
I'm listening to you. Keishi says, I'm white. I need to be on time. Oreo3 says, I'm mixed,
Now
I
you're
wasn't
black.
on time. When Oreo says,
Yeah.
I'm mixed, I wasn't on time. See, Oreo's
Yeah.
showing. See, that's the black side clearly. Why she was late. I'm joking. I'm playing. Look, guys, look. Before it cuts
Thank
off, see you guys later. Have a good one. See you next week, 10 o'clock.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.